friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing really well. So sorry that I haven't posted in quite some time. Most of you know that I had been going through a little bit of health concern recently. So I wanted to hop on quickly. Well, this probably is not going to be a quick video, let's be honest, to go over kind of what's been going on, where I've been. I have some books to haul. I have some birthday gifts that I wanted to show to you, and just kind of go over what's been going on lately. So I hope you're in the mood for a chatty video. So I have all kinds of books here today, everything from, you know, movie and show novelizations to young girl collections, and of course horror, and some other birthday gifts that I received as well. So we're going to go through all that. So go grab yourself a drink and we'll have a nice chatty Sunday. So first things first, I don't know how many of you know, usually I put posts over on Instagram and stuff, but sometimes on the community tab here too. But essentially I had abdominal surgery a couple of weeks ago on July 19th, and leading up to that I was really not feeling well. I was very ill, and things had kind of, you know, escalated a bit right before my surgery, so thank goodness they got me in when they did. And I was in recovery and I was starting to feel better each and every single day after the 19th. But then this past Monday, which I think was the 25th, so, you know, about a week or so post-op, I wasn't feeling very well. I started to develop a fever, and my heart was beating on my chest. I was sweating, and long story short, I went to the urgent care here in our community, and they started doing all kinds of tests and hooking me up to all sorts of things, and I was transferred by ambulance to a local hospital, and I spent 4 days in the hospital with some post-op infections that had to be taken care of. So I'm still on antibiotics and stuff, but I'm feeling starting to feel a little bit better, and I'm sorry if this video is a little bit y or there's a lot of jump cuts, because one of the medications that I'm on, one of the side effects is like brain fog and confusion, and Matthew and I are trying to kind of laugh it off a little bit, but is really not making me feel very good or, you know, very on top of any of my stuff right now. So I'm just kind of trying to deal with that. I've got a couple more days of medication left, and then hopefully I'll be in the clear, and between my surgery and then all the infections that I had will be cleared up. So it's been a little bit of a journey. It was my birthday a couple of weeks ago as well. Yeah, so I wanted to do a quick checkup with you guys. Let me know what you guys are reading. Are you finding anything for Halloween? Of course, we're into August now, so it's full-on spooky season. Matthew and I were at HomeSense the other day. It's like Home Goods, but HomeSense is our Canadian version, and it was very sad. There was not a whole lot of stuff there. So I was a little bit disappointed, but hopefully Halloween will pick up once Spirit opens and the other stores start getting in some stuff. So let me know if you've been doing any Halloween hunting, what you've been reading, if you've been doing any sort of spooky events. Leave it down in the comments below for me. So first things first, I wanted to go through a few birthday gifts that I received. So first and foremost, one of my subscribers, Matthew Clark, who's also a fellow Canadian here, and a lot of times comes into my live streams. A lot of times I'll do like sprints or whatever on Sunday mornings. I haven't done it quite some time. I do want to get back to doing those. But he actually sent me a book off my wish list. So I've been wanting this one for quite some time. A little while ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I read Garlic and the Vampire and Garlic and the Witch. They were just like children's kind of picture books, and they're so cute, and I really wanted to get this one. It is The Little Ghost Who Was a Quilt, written by Real Nason, and it says on the back, it's hard to be a ghost when you're a quilt, and you can see him kind of going through the door there. And basically it's this little ghost, and he can't figure out why he's a quilt, because both of his parents are sheets, and because he's not a sheet, he can't swirl and twirl like the other kids can, or the other little ghosts can, and when he tries to fly anywhere, he gets very hot. So it sounds like a super cute story. I was very emotional when I received this, both because somebody thought about me when they were, you know, going about their busy life and sent this to me, both for a birthday present and because of my upcoming surgery, which I still haven't gotten to this one yet. You know, it's really hard. Like, let me know if you're like this, but when I'm really not feeling well, and there was a lot of like dizziness and like detachment kind of that was going on when I wasn't feeling well, and I found it really hard to read. Like, I couldn't read a whole lot. I watched a lot of TV and a lot of movies, but I couldn't read a whole lot, so I still haven't gotten to this one. And July, I did get through some books, but I would like to finish the ghosty books that I had picked out for my July TBR, and I still have to get to the book club pick as well. I need to finish that up. I did start it, but I just, like I said, with everything going on, I couldn't get into it. So I'm really excited now that I'm feeling better, I can get into that one. And then also I got this one. So I bought this for myself on behalf of my parents. This one has been on my wish list for quite some time as well. Fab Press presents a spectacular optical book, Satanic Panic, Pop Cultural Paranoia in the 1980s, edited by Kiera Janice and Paul Korup. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It's very shiny, so I'm hoping the camera picks this up. But it's you know, on the cultural influences on the Satanic Panic in the 80s, which is an era that I am really interested in. Like, when I was kind of a kid coming into, like, you know, prepubescent era, it was very much during that time. So I remember the Satanic Panic stuff, and you know, with all the music in Dungeons and Dragons and all of that sort of thing. And so this very much has articles and exposés and stuff like that on it. And it was really, look, He-Man. It was really detrimental back then too. A lot of people were convicted of things that they didn't do and different kinds of atrocities and stuff like that. So I really like that it's not really mixed media style, but kind of, and it's heavily illustrated. So I'm very excited to read this book. It's one that, like, the majority of my library is thrifted books, so typically I wouldn't spend this much money ever on just a single book. But since it was my birthday and I had some birthday money, I did go ahead and order that one off my wish list. And then while I was in the hospital, actually, I did receive a card that was just chock full of stickers and stuff from my friend Zach from Shadyside Library, which was super sweet. I haven't taken the keychain out yet. So it says, "Sending you loving hugs." And again, I was very emotional when I got this. I think especially because, like, I had been in the hospital for a couple of days. When Matthew brought this to me, I was like hooked up to 2 different kinds of antibiotics and stuff, and I really wasn't feeling well. So this really lifted my spirits. So I'll of course keep the message for myself. But he did include this keychain that's like a little pride skull. It's super cute. Can you guys see that? Very cute. And then it has this little witch's hat that's like a card within a card, and it says, "Trick or treat, happy summerween, hope you like the pride skull," which of course I adore it. And then there's some stickers. We have a little Pride ghost. So when Zach sent this, it was June, so it was Pride month. It takes about 3 weeks or so to get something to Canada, and he did include a Pride Canadian flag as well, and just a couple of other stickers that I can put in my journal. So I was, like I said, very happy and very emotional to receive such a kind gesture, and none of us knew at the time that this arrived that I was going to be back in the hospital. So it really did lift my spirits. So thank you so much, Zach, and I'm sure everybody watching this video already follows him, but I will leave his channel link down below just in case. And then 2 more gifts that I got. Matthew and I had booked a couple of events towards the end of June into the beginning of July for my birthday. So at the end of June, we went to this, we went down to High River, which is like south of Calgary, and we went to like a tea down there that's in this old Victorian home. which was really nice. So I do have another vlog of all of this stuff that needs to be, I need to finish editing it and do the voiceover and everything. So that will be coming. So we went down there, and they also had a medieval festival as well. It's my first kind of Ren fair that I've ever been to, and it was fantastic, and there was sword fighting and all kinds of stuff. But there was a booth there that this woman did all kinds of like handcrafted different wands and walking sticks and all kinds of stuff, taxidermy and everything. And so I was admiring a piece of hers, and she walked right up to me, and I mean, she took one look at me and of course knew I was a witch, and she said that would look beautiful on your altar. So I couldn't leave him there. He was quite expensive, but I went ahead and got him for my birthday anyway. So this is it. Sorry, it's quite heavy. I'm hoping I can get him on the screen. So this is my new candelabra. It weighs a ton. And he is a deer skull. And yes, he's real. So real taxidermy. Still has his rack. And he's on this kind of like wrought iron sort of candelabra. And I saw pieces, sorry, I need to lay him down. I saw pieces like this on, I think it was on TikTok. And the creator, I believe, was in Australia, and I'm like, well, I'm never going to be able to get one of those because, like, for one, the shipping would be astronomical, and then two, by the time it got here, it would probably be all broken. So as soon as I saw it, I knew it was kind of a one-of-a-kind thing, and I was very, very happy to support a local artisan as well. So I went ahead and bought him, and he's sitting in my new study right now. We converted one of our spare bedrooms kind of into a study, and I will be doing a house tour probably come the fall. There's a couple of more things that I would like to get finished up before I bring you guys on the house tour. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about my new taxidermy candelabra. Like I said, sometimes you just need to splurge and get it when you can, because you're probably never ever going to see it again. And then Matthew did get me another birthday gift as well. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about this in a separate video because I want to make sure that I'm doing an actual review of this event. So in High River as well, which is the same place that the Ren Fair was, there's an old Victorian home, a historical home there called Mystic Manor, and it's owned by a woman who is a spirit sensitive, a psychic, and her husband, and they've completely like remodeled everything. And she hosts ghost tours through there. So it's not a haunt. It's not like a jump scare haunt. It's like she'll bring you through and actually tell the stories of the house, the ghost stories, the history. And it's very, like, going in there as a spirit sensitive myself, it was a very active home. And the way she has it decorated, like, it's all full of Victorian furniture and lamps and candelabras and all the things. The ambiance is spectacular. And they had problems with their booking system. And so for the day that we booked, we were the only ones. So we ended up with a private tour, which is unbelievable. So we really, really enjoyed that. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a separate video to review because I really like it's almost brand new. Like, they did a soft opening in October and we're coming up to spooky season again, and I really want to make sure that I do a good review of this place because it was fantastic. And just hearing all the ghost stories and the experiences and all of that sort of thing, it was very, very memorable. And we also went and saw the graveyard as well in High River that night. And so yeah, that was pretty much my birthday. So we went to a tea in a Victorian home, we went to a Ren fair, we went on a ghost tour. I got some gifts from other people and stuff, and bought some stuff for myself, so it was absolutely fantastic. So I'm gonna get into the actual book haul now. Okay, so a couple of videos back I did mention that the book hauls are going to be on the down low a little bit, the book buying, because there's other things that I want to get for the house and all of that sort of stuff. I'm trying to look for new furniture, and the library still needs to be painted and all that sort of thing. But given the situation with my health, Matthew and I did go out, you know, both before and after my procedure, and did a little bit of retail therapy, which is fantastic. I just really needed to, you know, after like kind of being laid up from my surgery and then going back into the hospital, I just needed to get out, get some fresh air without overdoing things, of course. So I did find some fantastic books over a couple of sessions that we were out, so I'll get into those now. Let's do these ones first. So these ones are sort of young girl or middle grade series that I do collect, and I was pleasantly surprised to find some of these because there are some that I'm missing from quite a few of my collections. So the first one is one out of the Best Friends series. This is by Hilda Stahl. This is Chelsea and the Outrageous Phone Bill. Wait, I think my mom's coming. So it looks like she's conversing with somebody that she probably shouldn't be, maybe a long distance phone call or whatever back in the day when there was landlines. So this is a series from the 90s, and it's really hard to find these out in the wild. I do have several of them, but most of what I've gotten is just off kind of like Etsy or whatever, so I was really happy to find that, and in good condition as well. I do have Goosebumps, Night of the Living Dummy. This is number 40. Funny enough, I didn't own this one for my Goosebumps collection. There's only a few in the original series that I'm missing, and so I wanted to make sure to grab this one, and it is in great condition as well. This one here, it's funny because I looked at my app and it said I didn't have it, and I thought I did, so I just went ahead and grabbed it anyway because it was like $1.25 or something. So and it's in fantastic condition. The other thing that I want to do with my library is to start making notes on the condition of my books. So like if I find a better one, then I can replace it, like if it's at a really reasonable price. Like I said, in this case it was $1.25. So this is out of the Babysitter's Club number 15, Little Miss Stony Brook and Dawn. So I have that one. This one, not part of a series, but part of the traditional Apple paperbacks. I always say when I see this kind of triangular sort of frame on the top with the apple, it always makes me super nostalgic. So this is Gordon Corman, Radio 5th Grade. So I loved these when I was a kid, and again, fantastic condition. So I was really happy to find so many that were in good condition the couple of times that we were out. And then this one, so this is a new series in kind of that middle grade YA sphere. This is also an Apple paperback, Dear Diary number 1, The Party by Carrie Randall. So I've never heard of this Dear Diary series before, but very much, you know, along the same lines of the other girl series that we already collect. And it's actually really rare to find number 1 right off the bat, so I was super happy about that. And then, so you guys know that I love the Creepover books, and I had a whole slew of them. And then I sent what I had to my friend M because I wanted to have my physical library to be like vintage out of print books, but I just love these books so much that I wanted to start collecting them again, just thrifting them and just whenever I can find them. You know, because I really do think that these deserve a place in my permanent library. So this is number 1, Truth or Dare, and you can see these spooky hands that are reaching out for these little girls that are at a sleepover. And I always talk about the the creepometer on the back. So this is number 3, Hide Under the Covers, so you can tell kind of the scare factor by the creepometer on the back. So I will be starting to collect the Creepover books again. And then kind of moving into the YA sort of books that are within series. So this is a new series that I don't currently collect, but it's a Francine Pascal. So this is the Fearless series. This is number 24, Betrayed. And I don't know anything about this series, so let me know if you do. I'm sure a lot of you, especially if you are Francine Pascal fans, that you would know about this series. Then we have one out of Impressions. So this is Linda Barr, who I believe wrote a bunch in like maybe the Wildfire or Sweet Dream series. Possibly. The name is really familiar to me. Best Friends Don't Tell Lies. So it doesn't have a number on here, but it says Impressions on the top there. And then look at these fantastic outfits from like the late 80s or 90s. Let's just see when this one is from. 1989. So yeah, that tracks definitely. And then I remember, so when I saw the cover of this one, it just kind of smacked me in my brain that it was very familiar. So this is the Klutz, 2 out of the Klutz series by Alida E. Young. So we have the Klutz is back, and this is the cover that I remember specifically. And then we have The Klutz Strikes Again here. So I remember these books vaguely from when I was younger. So for the sake of, you know, a buck and change, I went ahead and picked those up as well. And then getting into kind of the romance aspect of YA specifically. Now, like, for my fellow Canadians, the sticker system at Value Village is getting ridiculous. Like, they were trying to charge me $9 for this little book. I'm like, it wasn't $9 when it was new. So I definitely went and talked to them about that because it definitely was stickered wrong. So just if you are into thrifting and you're in Canada, you go to Value Village. They are very accommodating when it comes to that kind of stuff. So please go talk to them, and you know, especially if it's one that you really want for or need for your collection, they're usually really accommodating. So this is out of the Lifelines series by Cindy Savage, Caught in the Act. So I have a couple of Lifelines books, not a whole lot. I hope that's focusing in there. I have been having some trouble with like focus in my camera. I really need to sit down and try to figure it out. So one out of the Lifelines series. And then we actually did find another Lurleen McDaniel, and I said, I believe in my last haul, I really need to find out how many books this woman has written because I have no idea. They just keep going and going. So this is No Time to Cry, the Dawn Rochelle series, book 4. So I do have a couple of others, or at least one out of the Dawn Rochelle series. But I love the cover on this one because of the fall foliage, of course. And then haven't heard of this one either. So this is the Roommates series, number 5. This is not in good condition. It has a whole bunch of stickers on it. And on the front it actually says discarded. So this is number 5, Multiple Choice by Alison Blair. And you can see along the side there actually says discarded on it. So I usually like going to the thrift stores this time of year because a lot of schools start offloading books from their libraries. So it's beneficial for me. And then we have 2 from Kissed by an Angel. So I think I have another one with kind of this short series. So this is Elizabeth Chandler, Kissed by an Angel. After he's gone, will the spirit of his love protect her? And then we have Kissed by an Angel, Soulmates, their love will never die. That is kind of a creepy photo, I'm not gonna lie. But we're all here for the cheese, right? My romance collection is huge. I need to start doing those vlogs where I start reading some of those. That would be hilarious. And then this one, this is so funny. I've never heard of this before, but there's just so much going on this cover. So this is out of the River Heights series. This is book number 4, Stolen Kisses by Carolyn Keene. And it says, from Nancy Drew's hometown, an exciting new world of fun, friendship, secrets, and romance. Double love means double trouble. So there's just so much going on here. And even up here, like these guys look like the Golden Girls in this kind of vignette there. And we've got the cheesy kind of 80s, 90s artwork. Carolyn Keene, of course. And then, you know, this is kind of an offshoot of Nancy Drew, which I thought was really interesting. So not in good condition. There's some writing on it and stuff like that. 2018, Merry Christmas, Kathleen. So I guess Kathleen must have been really into either romance or Nancy Drew. 1990. So originally published, or sorry, logo art copyright is 1989. And then the actual book, Simon & Schuster, 1990. So fantastic. I will definitely look for more in this series. And then moving into some movie and show novelizations. So we have a couple more Sabrinas, and I always say, you know, it was about this time last year, I think, that I said on the channel that I could never find any Sabrina books, and now like every time I'm out I get 1 or 2 of them. So this is number 17, 8 Spells a Week of Bad Luck. So this is one of the super editions out of the Sabrina series. Of course, most of the kind of series throughout the 80s and 90s had their super specials or super editions. And this one, oh, I just love this. So this is Halloween Havoc, number 24 it looks like, and I love the orange cover and the witch and the whole thing. So that's fantastic. I'm really excited to have this one to add to the collection. Also not in good condition. I will definitely be looking for a replacement, but this is the first time I've seen this one in the wild, so I figured I may as well grab it. We also have, and I was so excited to find this because this was the edition that I had when I was a kid, except for the one I had the inserts with the movie stills, but this is The Secret of NIMH, so it has the Apple paperback kind of frame, that vintage frame with this particular cover art. The only thing is, like I said, this one does not have the inserts with the movie photos, so I will keep an eye out for that one, but I've been looking for this specific edition now for a while. I have found The Secret of NIMH, like a couple of other versions, not this one specifically, so I wanted to go ahead and grab it. It was $1.99, so I figured I'll go ahead and grab it and keep an eye out for the one that I actually want. I haven't seen this movie for so long. I'll keep an eye out for the movie as well. I'd really like to watch it with Matthew. We have another Full House, and it's funny because I'd only started collecting the Full House novelizations probably a few months ago, and I found two, so this is my third one. So this is Club Stephanie. Sorry, there's a sticker. Fireworks and Flamingos. So this is interesting. It doesn't have any photos inside. So we have this one. So I will continue to collect the Full House novelizations, and along the same lines, I do have two in the Lizzie McGuire series. So we have Head Over Heels, and we have Oh Brother. So I also have a couple in the Lizzie McGuire series that I found just this year alone. I believe I started collecting these this year as well. So lots for the movie and show novelization shelf. And then I also found number 7 in the Twitches series, which I include in my movie and show novelizations because my first introduction to Twitches was the Disney movies. I know they were based kind of on the series, but I was introduced by the movies, so for right now, I'm keeping these with my movies and shows. So number 7 is Kindred Spirits, and again, this is the first time I've seen this one in the wild, and it is in pretty good condition. So that's it for kind of the mainstream stuff, so I'm going to move into my spooky books next. So I was super excited to find this one. As you guys know, the majority of my collection is YA and middle grade, but I am starting to build up my adult horror collection recently. I was so super excited to find this one. It is not in good condition, but anytime you see a Paperbacks from Hell out in the wild at all for a reasonable price, it's, you know, just go ahead and pick it up kind of. So we have Dead Voices by Rick Hatala. So like I said, this is not in good condition. One of the pages is falling out. There's a bit of staining. You know, it's been well loved, but for $1.99, I of course went ahead and got this, both because I want to start my Paperbacks from Hell collection. I believe this is one of the only ones I have from that, and also because I love the cover on this. It's one of my favorites. We have Strange Unsolved Mysteries of Space and the Universe. So this will go in with my very small sci-fi collection. Oh, I was so super excited to find this one. I believe I have 2 out of this collection already, so this will be my 3rd. This is out of the Universal Monsters collection. Number 5, Black Water Horror. So this is the Creature of the Black Lagoon, of course. I also have Bride of Frankenstein, and I can't remember the other one. But to find this out in the wild for such good condition for, you know, $2 was fantastic. I only have one other one in the Bunnicula series. It's not something that typically I'll reach for when I'm out and about, but I guess whatever mood I was in that day that we were out shopping, I went ahead and grabbed this one. So this is A Rabbit Tale of Mystery, and so I'll stick this in. I believe I have one other Bunnicula, and it was a gift from Cameron Cheney. I have this one. This one looks so cute. Definitely one that I want to read coming up here in the next couple of months because we all love vampires. So this is The Vampire in Love. Sometimes love is a pain in the neck. And just look at this. This is adorable. So definitely want to pick that one up. And then last for kind of the fiction books, and the last two are so super exciting. I couldn't believe when I found them yesterday. But this one, I've never heard of this series before, and when I looked them up like online, they're quite scarce, so I don't know a whole lot about it. This is a woodland mystery, The Haunted Halloween by Irene Schultz, and just the vintage cover alone really drew me into this one. So of course it's you know, it's based on Halloween. Oh yeah, it's definitely like a children's book. There's a lot of illustrations and the font is really big. So on the back it says, a haunted house, a gray car, two strange men. How safe is Halloween night? So we'll definitely put that in for our spooky season reads coming up here. And then last but not least, just two, but both for the ghosty shelf, so I'm so super excited. So one in the Haunted Canada series that I don't own. So both of these series that I collect, when I find ones in these series that I don't have, it's really super exciting because I own so many of them so far. So this is just Haunted Canada ghost stories. So there's no number or anything on it, like usually they're numbered, but there's a couple that are kind of like, if you were thinking of like, say 90s series, they're almost like super editions or whatever. It's definitely thicker than most of the mainstream series. And I love the cover on this with the headstone and the hands. And the fact it just says ghost stories, it was everything. It was $3. I was so super excited, and it's in very, very, very good condition. A lot of these that I find are not. They're usually like water stained and all bent up and everything. So I was super excited about that. And the most exciting find yesterday. Yeah, yesterday when we were out, I just wanted to get out, get some fresh air, try to take it easy, but still, you know, move around and stuff like that. But I did find one in the Ghost House series that I don't own. So this is Haunted Cemeteries. Number 48. I'm so excited. And it's in almost perfect condition. So, I mean, to find a ghosty book, to find a Ghost House series book, and one that's themed around cemeteries was just the cherry on top of my whole day yesterday. So just look at this, and I love when they do like cemetery photos that have like this twilight sort of going on, and there's a branchy tree, like a spooky tree, and like just the whole, there's a mausoleum, the whole thing, or the gates, the cemetery gates, is not a mausoleum. It was just the whole thing. So true tales from beyond the grave. I'm so super excited to read this one. I'm excited to de-sticker it and put it up on the shelf. Sometimes I just come down and just look at my ghosty shelves because I love them so much and they mean so much to me. So this was the most exciting find of when we were out book hunting recently. So there you guys go. That's everything that I have for you today. I hope you guys are all doing really, really well. I will get back to posting more videos here. I'm going to try to take it easy over the next little while. I've been off work for a couple of weeks. So of course it's going to take some time to get back into that. I'm still on medications and everything. So hopefully we'll get back to a regular cadence here. But if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a question or a comment down below because you know I love chatting with you guys. But until next time, stay spooky everybody. Bye.